Alright, YouTube, it's me, David Harry, your favourite YouTuber and vlogger. So, in this video, I'm going to explain to you why the Hero 12 is a massive rip-off and is basically a Hero 11 with a software update, okay? Now, I've already spoken about this in a previous video, and a whole bunch of people were trying to question the validity of what I was saying and basically argue the toss with me. This is going to be a new Hero, blah, 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 blah. Well, I have just watched that new GoPro promo video for the 12, and in there, it doesn't say that there is any electronic differences between the 12 and the 11. So basically, it's not saying there is like a new processor or a new CPU or anything like that. However, the main thing that I was talking about in my previous video, which I feel I've now been vindicated completely on, is I was saying that the Hero 12 is essentially exactly the same electronically in the hardware, CPU and stuff like that. And what GoPro will have done will have been to have optimized some things within inside the architecture in order to extend the battery life, and then also to give it, like, you know, the slightly better kind of like stabilisation and stuff. And if you don't believe me, listen to this section of the GoPro promo and this will prove everything that I've been saying.
More efficient processing allows Hero 12 Black to shoot up to 70 minutes in 5.3K 60.
Okay, so as we could clearly hear there, GoPro were choosing their words really carefully there to explain what was going on with the extended battery life and whatnot. So essentially what they have done is to have optimized performance. Well, what they could have done is to have optimized performance with a software and firmware update to the Hero 11, because it's the same processor and everything that's in the 12. So all these, like, or the two main big features that you're now seeing with the 12, you're being absolutely conned on it, right? Or we're being conned on it. The people who bought the Hero 11, there's one there. So for us people, the problem is we will never see any more updates that are meaningful to the 11, because GoPro most certainly aren't going to come backwards with some of those features that they've now introduced into the 12 and bring them to the 11. I mean, if they did do, it would be awesome, and I would love to be proven wrong on that one, that they wouldn't do it, because like if they did, it would be amazing for anybody with an 11. But believe you me, those two main functions that are the big deal apparently with the Hero 12, they could have been done on the 11 because it's the same processor. So whatever optimization that's gone on there has been stuff to do with firmware and software which could easily have been injected onto the 11. Now, I might try and make another video at some point suggesting that there could possibly be at some point a hacked version of the firmware for the 12 which could go onto the 11. If some smart people out there are prepared to put a bit of time to it, I'm fairly sure that somebody could block the installation package from being only for the 12, because what it is, the installation packages have got IDs in them and stuff so that they relate to particular cameras. I've got a feeling that if somebody was prepared to put the time and the effort into this, they could crack the software and the firmware for the 12 so that it could be loaded onto the 11, and then the 11 would effectively become a 12. We actually seen this back in the day of the Hero 5. If I remember correctly, there was two cameras. There was the Hero 5 and then there was another camera. I think it might have been called the GoPro 2018, whatever it was. It looked like a 5 and stuff, but it wasn't a 5. It was kind of like the cheaper option. Well, what happened, there was a firmware that come out and you could turn the other cheaper one into a Hero 5, because once again, the two cameras were identical. It's just the GoPro had basically nobbled the functions on one of them, so it wasn't a 5. Let's see, Ian Craig will remember this. So yeah, the likes of Ian Craig and a couple of other people at the time who I was talking to, we all noticed this thing going on. This is a bit of a con. Well, this is basically what GoPro have done now. So I'm edging me bets that if some smart people out there are prepared to put the time into it, they could crack the software and the firmware from the 12 to go backwards onto the 11. Anyways, just to round this up, you will also have seen in that promo video as well by GoPro for the 12 that there's a whole bunch of things that they're going, look at all these cool new features and all the rest of it. Well, all they are is basically cosmetic embellishments beyond what the 11 was already doing. So again, if you're like an 11 like customer or user, you can feel really hard done by, because there's a whole bunch of stuff you will have seen in that 12 video which I'm fairly positive could have been applied to the 11. And the other thing here as well is that new Bluetooth feature. Now, unless GoPro have like updated the Bluetooth functionality on the 12, which isn't on the 11, which I don't think they will have done, then yeah, that function could have been on the 11 as well. So finally, people could have been using some form of Bluetooth microphone communication to the camera. I'm also going to make another video on like, why didn't GoPro just open up the audio port completely and not just give us this bullshit on Bluetooth? Do you know what I mean? Because as much as it's going to be useful to some people, the vast majority of people would just really much prefer an open port for the physical microphones, as in either USB going in, although I don't think you could do USB to analog via any interface other than either the Pro 3.5mm mic adapter or the actual or the media mods. I think they're pretty much required, because I don't think the cameras have any kind of like A to Ds built in, although there'd definitely be nothing stopping GoPro allowing external A to Ds to be used for external analog cameras, or sorry, analog microphones, just in the exact same way DJI do it with their like Action 4, where you can just buy a cheap little USB adapter thing, throw a mic in and throw it into your camera. There is no reason why GoPro can't do that. So why they've opened up the Bluetooth thing, which gives you access to a microphone, why they've not done it to hardware mics and stuff, I do not know. Anyways, if people want to still call me a fool and a crazy fuckhead or something like that, you know, because of like my ramblings to do with these differences, then feel free about it. But I'm fairly sure that once we get into the full throes of what's going on here, I will be vindicated by other people on this. And I really do feel that GoPro have just completely ripped off a whole bunch of people here, and mostly the Hero 11 users. Anyway, yes, I'm just a crazy fool spouting shit on YouTube, and I'm gonna f off now. I'm David Harry. Thank you very much for watching this video. Take care and goodbye now.